Hello, I'm Farnak Amiti, and this is the fifth floor dressing room where I get ready with my BBC World Service colleagues just before they go on air. And we talk about some of the stories that they're working on. And today I'm with BBC Persian journalist and my BFF, best friend forever, Saideh Hashemi. Woo! It's great to have you finally with us.
Thank you for having me.
Today, Saida and I are going to talk about our friendship and how we've become family since we were both Iranian and we live in exile. And we're also going to talk about neurodiversity, a topic that we both care about very, very much. So, Saida, tell me, how long have we known each other?
Oh my God. It's been a long journey, right? I moved to London in 2008 and you moved in 2009.
Yeah.
A few weeks after that controversial presidential election in Iran.
Yeah.
And that election was quite significant event in modern Iran history because
It was.
Yeah, because it ended up leads to a huge protest in a street.
Yeah.
And we televised it for the first time in Iranian Islamic Republic history.
Yeah, it was because BBC Persian had just opened, launched.
Yeah.
And you guys were broadcasting it. And I remember I was in Iran on the streets and I would come to watch BBC Persian.
Yeah. So I was one of the presenter for the BBC Persian TV channel at the time. And I remember that was huge event. I remember first day that you joined the BBC
Can I
Persian.
try your foundation?
Of course.
I've been dying to do this. Okay.
First day that I saw you in the newsroom, you were wearing your red Doc Martens. And then we sat next to each other and talk about life and how come you decided to move out from Iran and come to BBC.
And a lot of people don't understand it until you're in that situation it's just, for me, I packed a suitcase for probably 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's been 15 years I haven't been back.
Yeah.
And it's all of a sudden you have to think, okay, I have to build a life here.
Yeah.
This has to become home.
Exactly.
I don't have a choice.
Yeah. We have to find our own ritual. We have to define our identity. Living in exile in a way is shaped our identity, right?
Totally. We talked about it. We talk about it all the time. It's one of the topics we always talk about. So, what do you think has kept our friendship going for almost 15 years?
I think apart from the fact that we are sharing same struggle in life, that we become our own family. Because if you remember when my sister passed away, I called you. I said, Farnak, I want to come stay with you tonight.
Yeah.
When your aunt passed away, you called me. So we are choosing family in a way. And I think also I feel like when I met you, I feel like, oh my God, I found someone to explore London, because I was here for a year.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to explore. And the fact that you love music, I love music, you love going out, you love to meet new people, you are curious about ideas. These are things that really, I think it was important for me.
Girl, we explored London.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is another thing that you always talk about, and I'd like to dig into a little. And that is how first of all, you were diagnosed with
ADHD. This was one of my obsession for years, because when I learned about the concept, I was just so obsessed about the idea of neurodiversity and ADHD and all of this. And I was just observing everybody in our community and sometimes ask them,
I
"Are you
would-
living with ADHD?"
On dance floors.
On
I
dance
remember.
So yeah, I self-diagnosed myself, to be honest with you, first, because I was in the middle of storm of a stressful event.
It was right after your sister passed away.
Yeah. After she passed away, I was very stressed, and one day I was sitting with a friend in a pub having a beer, and I was telling him about the chaotic situation that I'm dealing in my life, and he looked at me and said, "You know what? Whatever you say reminds me of my sister who is living with ADHD. Are you sure you're not living with ADHD?" And for me at the time, ADHD, what is ADHD? I had no idea.
Yeah, it was such a new term, especially for us Iranians.
Yeah, so I left him. I went to my laptop and I started researching about the ADHD. And whatever I was reading, I felt like, oh my God, this makes sense.
Me.
This is me.
But you also got professionally diagnosed
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, so
And what was that experience like for you?
It was very good. I met my GP and I told him about the condition, and he introduced me to a specialist, and they confirmed that I'm living with the condition. So I think since then, my perspective about human brain and our behavior has changed a lot, and it helped me to understand myself a lot better.
Did it, like before you were diagnosed, did you think something was wrong with you ever? Did you like, for example, were you hard on yourself and maybe the diagnosis helped you to accept yourself?
Totally, yeah, totally. Because knowing yourself and finding a way to deal with some of the issue that you have in life, it definitely leads to acceptance.
Things like neurodiversity, especially in countries like ours, is taboo. I
Yeah.
mean, being different is taboo in our culture. We have a phrase.
Yeah.
We have a
We have
very
a conversation
Oh my God.
about this phrase a lot.
And it's the phrase, this expression is خواهی نشوی رسوا هم رنگ جماعت شو.
Yeah.
If you don't want to
Disgrace.
if you don't want to bring disgrace on yourself, just be
Blend
like
in.
others
into
and
the
blend in with others.
Yeah.
And it's that sense of individuality and diversity is something that is extremely taboo in our culture. You're not supposed to be different or look different or dress
Totally, yeah,
different. So it is a very taboo subject.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It is a taboo subject.
And there is this way of labeling any woman who's a bit different
Yeah.
with a mental disorder. And we've seen it with the authorities as well. When they arrest women who are protesting against hijab, they say they were mentally ill and they put them in mental institutions.
The latest case was Ahu Daryai, who
Yes.
protest in a university after someone was just harassing her for wearing something unusual for the university.
And she took off all her clothes.
everything, yeah. And they took her to mental hospital. Everything we heard is that she had some mental problem and she's gonna be released as soon as she feel better. So it's a very difficult situation. I don't think imagine in a rural area in Iran that the only purpose of a woman is to get married and have children and take care of the household. If she admit that she has a sort of like diversity, mental problem or condition, she is completely out of market forever, right? Nobody really
devalued.
Thank you for having me for this
No,
cosmetic.
It is a cosmetic discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank
Is your
you.
makeup done?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Shall we do a little
Yeah.
selfie?
Why
Because
not?
that's what I do. We have so many selfies in here with each other. So yes, come. Yay! Thank you.